Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do a series. We're going to call it Reformer Sculpt, and today we're going to start with upper body. So you don't need any props. We are going to use the long box though, so long box, but anything else, nothing else. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start on one light spring, so one blue spring. And we're going to be facing the back of our reformer. So I'm going to be sitting onto the back of my heels. If this is too much, you can sit down onto your bottoms, whatever works for you. Let's go ahead and grab our straps. And if you have the option, grab short straps, but if you don't, no worries. And make sure you're sitting towards the back of your reformer, closest to your springs, so we can get more range of motion here. So we're just going to warm up the body, open up our chest, start opening up our upper body. So go ahead and grab your straps and have your palms face down. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching that crown of the head long, engaging that core. We're just going to take an inhale here and an exhale through our mouth. Good. So now let's inhale, reach our arms up to the ceiling. And exhale as you circle around, open up that chest and come back around. So inhale up. And exhale, opening up that chest. Careful as we lift. We're not exhaling and pushing the stomach up, as you can see here. Engaging that core. We're just opening up that chest. So bringing that core in towards our spine. And just getting a nice slight little back extension. Nothing too large. We're just warming up through the arms and opening up that chest. Waking up that body. So let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Good. Still holding on to those straps. We're going to flip our hands back. So now you can see that my palms are facing back towards that back wall. We're going to stay up at shoulder level, and we're just going to press back. Still engaging that core, sitting up nice and tall. Try to keep your arms up at shoulder level. That's the challenging part here, okay? Breathe in through your nose and exhale as you push back. Try to pull the shoulders out of your ears, pulling the scapula down. Good. Just burning out those shoulders. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoa, I feel those. Good. So just take a quick second, roll out the shoulders. We're not done back here. So we're going to keep our palms facing down, just square off the shoulders, and now we're just going to do shoulder reaches. So we're just going to reach all the way up and back down. As you can see, as I bring them down, I stop right here at shoulder level. I'm not coming all the way down, so no momentum is being used. So we're just strictly getting into our whole shoulder, working into the deltoids, also working into that back too. So also careful to stay stacked. You want to see head over shoulders. You don't want to see me come back like this. So keep your powerhouse, which is your core, really strong. And we're just reaching our arms straight up overhead and back down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Whoa, okay, good. So now let's go ahead. We're going to put our straps down. Now we're going to go into some single arms. So I'm going to grab my strap that's closest towards the wall, and I'm going to put that down. I'm going to keep the strap that's in front of me, and now I am kneeling facing the camera, so my working arm is going to be my right hand. So it's whatever arm that's closest to the spring is your working arm right now. So if you have the option, grab short or long strap, grab short strap here. We're going to come down onto our knees and onto our free hand, okay? And what we want the strap to come under that free hand rather in front. So make sure it comes under. It's just so it's more of a smooth transition of like how we're going to move. Make sure your hips are right underneath, your knees are right under your hips and they're hip distance apart. And slight bend in our resting elbow, always. And from here, we're gonna start with like a little hook. So we're gonna go into a draw sword, but we're gonna do it kneeling. So when you're ready, inhale, and then exhale, getting full extension of that arm all the way out, and then inhale back in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So think about a really long back here. We're not crunching in, we're not flexing the spine. We're reaching that crown of that head long. So really using the width of our reformer here. And back in. Keep your arm pretty narrow towards your stomach. It's almost gliding across it, and then full extension here. If you're not getting full extension all the way out here, guys, either go to your long strap or you can just do the elbow in and out like this. So the modified version is just going in and out. But if you can get full extension, go ahead. But if you're not, do that modifying version, because if you're just struggling to get that arm out, you're definitely not going to get the full effect of this exercise. So let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come on in, and then let's come on up kneeling, okay? So I'm still gonna keep that short strap in hand. Now I'm gonna take my free hand, and I'm gonna place it on the shoulder block in front of me. I'm gonna bring my hand up overhead. So we're gonna do overhead triceps. So before we get started, you want your palm to face down here, okay? Not out. Have it face down. Pull your shoulders back. Don't crunch in. Pull them back. Lengthen through that spine. And get it pulling out and in. So it's overhead and in. Good. So think about trying to find that tricep engagement here, okay? Feel those triceps working and moving this carriage. Your arm stays up. You're just bending from that elbow joint in and out. Pull those shoulders back. Engage that core for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Holy moly, feeling these. So hopefully you guys are too. Good. So now we're going to be kneeling, and we're going to go back into that draw sword, but we're going to be kneeling here, okay? So short strap, or if your arm's starting to get pretty tight here, move to your long strap, whatever works for you. I might have to move to my long strap in a bit. I'm really feeling these. So sitting up nice and tall, your free hand can come onto your waist. We're going to go right into that elbow hook, and then full extension out and back in. So remember, same thing like we were doing these kneeling. If you're not getting this full extension like this, just go ahead and elbow in and out, kind of like a pirate. Pirate's life for me, I don't know. But just in and out, and you're just keeping that hand right by your stomach, and you're gliding it back and forth. But if you can, this is the modified version, but if you can't, try to get that full extension. These are wonderful. These will really tone and sculpt those arms, building strength and lean, long muscles. Good, so I'm feeling it. So let's go for 5, 4, careful with your wrist too. 3, you want it in line with your hand the entire time. 2, and 1, come on in. Woo! Good, so shake it out. And now we're gonna grab that strap with our other hand, okay? So now we're gonna go into a nice little shoulder press using our other arm into like a halo move. So you can kind of push yourself a little more into the center of that carriage. You don't have to be directly all the way back at the edge here. Short strap, long strap again. Pull the shoulders back, engage that core, and now we're just gonna lift up overhead like a little halo and back down. But as you can see, I'm stopping at shoulder level. I'm not coming here. So I'm not gonna use any momentum from here. Up and down. And then remember here, stay stacked head over shoulders. You don't see me leaning like this. If you find yourself leaning, then you're not having the strength to do that. Go ahead and sit back onto your heels. And this will make it a little bit easier because you're not going to have the distance from sitting on your knees, so the strap doesn't work as hard. But if you want that challenge, stay kneeling. Nice strong core. Obliques are working here too, so we're not rotating. We're staying nice and stacked for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Good. So we're going to hold that strap, and we're just going to rotate facing the front of our reformer. Excuse me. So staying here. Push your feet up against your shoulder blocks here, okay? Nice strong core. Our powerhouse has to be really strong here because we're going to do single arm. We're going to be kneeling. If you want that challenge, if this is too much, you can sit back onto your heels or you can cross, whatever works for you. And remember, keep a strong core. You won't go face first into your well if you do not stay nice and strong in that core. So free hand on our hip. And for here, we're just going to do single arm, forward and back. So nice strong core, nice strong legs, squeezing those glutes. Try to get up and down, but you really want to try to keep a slight bend in that elbow even when you're extending out. You don't want to hyperextend that arm. Good, guys. Stay strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good. Stay there. So now I'm going to take my right leg, which is the opposite leg of the hand that I have in the strap, and I'm going to put my foot up onto the reformer. This is just to counterbalance us here because we're going to do a little bit more arm work, which is going to take a lot of strength, and having our knee like this will definitely help. You'll see. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to go into hug and trace, single arm. So find that nice little beach ball in front of you. See my arms are nice and round, and then bring it back. Stop right when it's in line with your shoulder. Try not to come all the way back here, okay? We're stopping here and coming in. So you can kind of push your weight a little bit forward, put it into that right kneeling heel. And this will help us keep our balance and really work into that chest. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Good. Last exercise, kneeling here. Bringing our arm in towards our hand. Sorry, there was a car passing, so if you heard that. Most of you probably already know I work in my garage, so can't help what happens out there. So anyways, bringing our hand into our waist. So my elbow is glued to my waist, knee is still up, and I'm just going to go into external and internal rotation. So my elbow's glued to my waist, and I'm just rotating my elbow in and out, external, internal. So we're hitting the whole rotator cuff here. We're hitting all 3 deltoids, really starting to sculpt and shape our shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Good job, guys. So actually, I'm not done. I lied. I just want to hit some biceps here. So I'm going to do a spring change here. So I'm going to take my blue off, and I'm going to add 1 heavy spring. So 1 red spring here. If you feel like you're up to it, if it gets too heavy, you can go to that lighter spring, but I want that more of a challenge. So 1 heavy spring. You guys can choose your weight here. We're going to come down onto our carriage. So you can see I still have that strap in my hand. I'm placing both hands at the edge of my carriage, closest towards my springs. I'm walking my legs all the way back, If you have the option to drop your shoulder blocks, go ahead. That would be a great time to do that. I don't, so you can see I'm squeezing my legs in between. And I'm going to bring my arm up behind me. So my elbow's gonna start behind me and it's gonna stay there. And I'm just gonna bend at that elbow, in and out. So I'm hitting those biceps. If you want another challenge here, where you can extend that right leg. So the opposite leg, whichever side you're working on here first. Lift it up at hip level and just bend at that elbow, in and out. Good. Stay strong. We should crown that head long. Let's go for a 5. Keep that elbow glued towards your side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly come on in and come on up. Good. So put that strap down. And now we're going to find our box. So find your long box and we're going to place it right by the side of our reformer. So you can see it's right by the side of my reformer. It's in line with the edge. And now our box is going to be where we're kneeling and our carriage is going to be our mover. So let's go ahead, find the length of your box, bring your knees all the way towards the back, hands at the edge. And I'm going to work my left arm here. So I'm on that heavy spring for the challenge. If it's too much, go to a lighter spring. You guys can pick and choose what you are ready for. When you're ready, let's go ahead and do shoulder presses. So you're just pressing up against that shoulder block. Out and in. Really strong core here, guys. Try not to arch that butt out like this. Tuck that tailbone. Bring that navel in towards your spine. Pull the shoulders out of your ears. Pull the scapula blade down. A lot to work here. And just press out and in. Try to get full extension. If you want more of a challenge, let's go ahead and extend that opposite leg. And now if you want a little more challenge, tip that toe down and up. So the arm's doing the same thing. We're just adding on with that leg. 3, 2, and 1, come on in. Whew, good. So now let's go ahead and grab our strap and come on up. Now we're going to be kneeling, so my opposite leg comes onto that box, and I'm actually going to choke up onto this strap a little. Maybe not, it's kind of heavy, so let's just keep that short strap in hand. So choke, short strap, kneeling, pull the shoulders back, and now we're just going to go into a high elbow row. So high elbow means my arms up at shoulder level and my elbows out towards the side. So now I'm really hitting the back, getting into my lats, the serratus. So really shaping, bringing strength, and toning our back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, come on down. Good. So keep your strap there. We're going to do one more exercise with the strap. We're going to do a spring change. So we had a red. Let's go back to that light spring. So I'm back onto my blue spring, okay? We're just going to do one more exercise. We're going to hit some more triceps here. So come on down, lengthen through that spine. Bring that elbow in and extend. Let's go to a long strap here if you have that option. And we're just going to bend at that elbow joint. Hitting those triceps on that left arm. These are pretty hard, so let's just do a few. For 5, 4, try to get full extension. 3, 2, and 1, come on up. Whew, definitely feel this, so good. Now let's go ahead and put our strap down. This part, my back's going to be towards you guys, so I'm going to do my best to speak loud enough so you can hear me and also see what I'm doing. So go ahead and rotate towards your reformer. Bringing your knees closest to the edge of your box, closest to the springs here, okay? You're going to place both hands down onto your carriage, and you want to make sure they're about shoulder distance, okay? You don't want them too narrow. And put your weight over your shoulders here, okay? So I like to call this kind of like a snake prep. So if you know the exercise snake on the reformer, it's kind of like that, upper body, a lot of obliques, a lot of work here. This is more of a prep, so this is a great exercise to kind of prep us there. So, but we're not going to do snake today, just this exercise. So arms out, knees are together. I'm going to push out with my arms here, okay? And you're going to see my body shift towards the side. So now my head's in line with my diagonal with my hips. I'm going to push that carriage all the way out. I'm going to bring my hip down towards, all the way down onto my box, using my obliques. Then lifting up, back to that diagonal, and then back to starting position. So remember here, try to keep your weight over your wrist and take your time. These are very slow and controlled moves here. It's 4 parts. Part 1, diagonal. Part 2, pushing all the way out, bringing that right hip down. Feel the obliques. Part 3, back to that diagonal. And part 4, coming back to starting position where everything's on top of each other. So let's do this 3 more times. Out to diagonal. Out, bringing the hip all the way down. Back to that diagonal. And back to starting position. Good, 2 more times. Take your time and really feel every movement here. And try to keep your weight on top of your wrist. Last one, diagonal. Pushing out, feel those obliques as you lower down all the way to your box. Lifting back up to that diagonal and then coming on in. Good, last one here, guys. You can walk your knees into the center of your box here. And we're just going to do some push-ups. So I'm going to extend the leg out. It's just going to help challenge myself a little bit more. Arms are right under our shoulders. Our elbows are going to come out to 45 degrees. So not out to the side and not straight back. So 45 as you bring your chest and nose down to the carriage and up. Keep your weight over your wrist. Feel this in the chest and your triceps. Point that toe if it's lifted. You got it. Breathe. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew, good job. So, let's go ahead and move our box out of the way. And now, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. So actually, for that first part, you guys, my back's going to be towards you again. So, we're on that blue spring. We're going to start with that jaw sword series, single arm jaw sword series. So now I'm going to grab the rope with my left hand, which is the one closest to the spring here, okay? I'm going to come onto my knees. I'm going to walk my knees all the way to the end of my reformer. And my right hand is my kneeling, resting hand. I'm going to bring it onto the carriage, and I'm going to bring the rope underneath. Remember, we don't want it in front. Lengthen through that spine, and when you're ready, let's go into that nice jaw sword series. So we're starting with the kneeling jaw of sword. So nice strong core. Try to get full extension with that arm. Good. Keep a slight bend in that resting elbow for 5, 4, 3, 2, now we're going to go into that tricep. So I'm going to take my right arm, which is my free hand, I'm going to put it onto my shoulder block in front of me. I'm going to keep my palm, my hand in the short strap, but remember, palm's going to be facing down for this. So I'm going to bring it up overhead, I'm going to pull my shoulders back, my eye gaze stays at that floor, and I'm going to pull in and out, and I'm finding that nice tricep engagement here. Pull the shoulders back, slight bend in that resting elbow. Good job, guys. So find those triceps. Nice shoulder overhead triceps for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew, good. So now we're going to do that jaw soar series. Again, I'm in kneeling, so same thing. So now I'm going to be kneeling, short strap in hand, free hands at my waist. And I'm just going to go right into that jaw soar and back in. So remember, the modified version of this, if you can't get this full extended arm, the modified version was just in and out. Like you're elbowing someone in the gut. But if you can, try to get full extension to get the really good effect and benefits from this exercise. Good. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Good job, guys. Last one facing this side. Let's go ahead and grab that strap. If you need to switch to long strap, I totally understand. We're just going to go ahead into the shoulder presses, that halo move. So you can walk your knees a little bit more in towards your reformer. And when you're ready, up and down. So same thing, you want to stay stacked. We're not leaning to that side when we pull. So if you feel like you're leaning, sit back onto your heels. And then remember, we're stopping right at shoulder level and up, so we're not using any momentum. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good. So holding that strap, we're just going to rotate facing the front of our reformer. So now we're going to get into that series facing the front. So the first part, remember our feet were up against that shoulder block, sitting nice and tall, free hand at our waist. Remember, really strong core here, so we don't go face first into our reformer. If you don't feel comfortable kneeling or if it hurts you, sit back onto your heels. Totally fine. When you're ready, we're going to go into straight forward and back. Remember, slight bend in that elbow the entire time. Even when we extend out, we're not fully hyperextending that elbow. So slight bend and back in. So we're working into our pecs, our chest, our front deltoid. Good. Focus on your breathing. Inhale through your nose. Exhale as you push out. Inhale back down. Exhale out. Inhale in. Slow and controlled move. Find that sweet spot and get to it. We'll really tone and sculpt for 3, 2, and 1. Good. So now let's take our opposite leg, which is my left leg now. I'm going to bring it up, have my foot onto that carriage, and now I'm going to go into that nice hugger tree. So find that nice beach ball in front of you. Bring it back. Remember, we're not coming back here. We stop right our shoulders and bring that beach ball around. So you want them slightly, your wrists slightly below your elbow. So if water was to drip from your elbow to your wrist. So have them slightly below. Obliques are working just as hard so we don't rotate. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and one, come on in. Good. From here, glue your elbow to your side here, and now we're just going to go into that external, internal rotation. So we're just rotating from the deltoids. So you'll feel the whole rotator cuff working here. We're working all three deltoids. Your elbows glued to your side, and you're just moving that arm in and out. Keep it on a nice plane, and you're just rotating it out towards that side wall and then rotating it forward. Try not to let it pass your shoulder when you rotate it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So last one here. So for the bicep exercise, I remember I was up on a spring, so I have one heavy spring for me. You guys can choose what you're comfortable with. When you're ready, walk your hands towards the, let me just put my, okay, and I just wanted to make sure my watch was still timing this. Walk your hands towards the edge of your carriage. If you want that challenge, you're going to extend your opposite leg. We're going to bring that arm up at shoulder level, bend that elbow, and we're just bending at that elbow joint, keeping that arm up the entire time. Eye gaze stays down at the floor. Find a nice little spot to focus on, especially if your leg's lifted. Keep your hips square towards the carriage. Reach that crown of that head long. Good. Keep that elbow glued towards the side. Slight bend in the resting elbow for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in and slowly come on up. Good job. Put that rope down. Let's come on up and grab our boxes. So you're almost done with upper body, guys. We're just gonna finish it off with that long box series, and then we will be done. So before we get started, I have that heavy spring on. My box is in line with my carriage, closest to the springs. I'm walking my knees all the way back towards that box. So I'm gonna use that box to lengthen my spine. I'm not crunched up, out. Resting hand, right arm, I'm working my right arm now. It's gonna be on that shoulder block. Make sure my knees are right under my hips, and when you're ready, press that carriage out and in. So we'll go into that nice variation of this. So we're just gonna start with both knees down and just get full extension, pushing that carriage out and in. And remember, pulling that shoulder out of your ear, pulling that scapula down. Good, so if you wanted that challenge, go ahead, extend that opposite leg. So now we're just kneeling on that right knee. Keep breathing. Now let's extend out, tap the toes, and up. Try to get full extension. This is definitely super difficult. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew, I feel that. Good. Come on up. Let's go ahead and grab our strap now. So I'm going to bring my opposite leg up now. So that little Captain Morgan stance that I've talked about. You want to find that just so we can counterbalance ourselves. Grabbing the short strap. And now we're going to go into that high elbow row. So I'm going to pull back and in. So I'm trying to keep my arm up at shoulder level. You can see that my elbow comes out towards the side of that room. So these are high elbow rows. So we're really hitting that back. Getting into those lats and our serratus. Building strength. Sculpting it. Stay strong. Nice strong core. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good. So last one here. We switch back to that light spring. Take that take the heavy spring off, light spring on, and we're just gonna hit those triceps. So when you're ready, we might want to go long strap here. I think I switched to long strap. We're just gonna pull out and in. If you need to walk a little bit closer towards the back of that reformer to give you more range where you can get full extension, totally okay here. Out and in. So these were difficult, so I didn't do too many. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, those are hard. Good. So let's go ahead and put that strap down. And now we're just going to finish it off with that nice little snake prep that I did earlier. And then push-ups and we're done. So almost done there. Done, guys. So stay strong. Now we're going to start with our knees together and they're the back of our box, so closest to the springs, okay? So now you can see me from my face straight on. Last time it was the back, so hopefully I explained it to you pretty well that you're able to get it with my back facing you. So here it is facing forward. So knees together, closest to the end of the box, hands are out, shoulder distance, maybe a little bit further. You want a wide stance here. All 5 fingers, 10 fingers out. Push your weight over put them over your wrist. You don't want them back. So put your weight over your wrist, squeezing your knees together. We're gonna push that carriage out towards that left. And now you can see my head and my hips are at a diagonal. We want that. Now I'm gonna push it all the way out, using that left oblique, bringing my hip down towards the box till it taps. Lifting up through that left oblique, coming back to that diagonal, and then back to starting position. So it's 4 parts. So part 1, pushing out, dropping that hip to the diagonal. Pushing all the way out. Number 2, bringing that hip down onto the box. Feel those obliques. Part 3, coming back to that diagonal. And part 4, back to starting position. Good. So let's do it again. Part 1, diagonal from head to waist. Part 4, all the way down. Feel that oblique. Tap that hip down to the box. Part 3, back to that diagonal. And back to starting position. Let's do that one more time. Pushing out, dropping the hip diagonal, all the way out. Touch the box. Feel those obliques. Whew. Keep your weight over your wrist and back in. Good. So let's just finish it off with those push-ups. So walk your feet in towards the center of your box. Hands are out, right underneath you. I'm gonna lift my leg just because I like that challenge. You can keep both knees down. Remember, the elbows are gonna come at a 45 behind you. They're not coming out wide like this, and they're not coming straight back. We're gonna hit triceps and shoulders. So 45, bringing the chest and nose all the way down and up. If you have your knee or leg lifted, point those toes. Nice energy through those legs. Good job, guys. Stay strong. Feel the chest working and those triceps. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew. Great job, guys. Roll out those wrists. Come onto your reformer. And we are done. So that was part 1 of Reformer Sculpt series that I'm creating right now. So part 1, upper body. That was about a 40-minute exercise. I hope you enjoyed it. Pretty much targeted all of our muscles on our upper body. So next time, hopefully we can do a lower body and then a core. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly mat and reformer workouts. If you have any questions or comments or requests, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.